I'm so very glad to be able to connect with all of you to this important broadcast, this important discussion platform that we have for our SWAM course on soft skills. And as you must have seen through all our videos, that what we are trying to achieve today, we are going to focus on what constitutes soft skills, what are the modern day needs. We are very happy that you are constantly following all our updates, and the course progress is right on track. So yes, let's begin with as to what do we mean by soft skills. Some people say that these days, in the age of smartphones, internet, and then artificial intelligence, what is suffering most is soft skills. Now, like, people do not understand as to how important these are. Like, what are soft skills? We will discuss as to how they stand next to or opposite to hard skills. What are the what is the significance in the professional domain? Let me talk about, like, how do we define that to begin with. Like, these are the, like, non-technical abilities that shape how a person communicates. Now, this is like how we speak. Like, it's not visible to everybody. It's just like there in our mind and heart, which is about collaboration, problem solving, and that leads making them indispensable for both individual growth and career advancement. These skills constitute behavior, personality traits, and attitudes rather than formal knowledge, which decides whether workplace interaction becomes productive partnership or frustrating obstacles. So this is how, like, in your mind, how do you understand the way you will interact with everybody else, the way you will put forward your point of view. Like, sometimes people want to, like, understand it in vis-a-vis hard skills. Hard skills are measurable. Teacher can teach you those, like, such as coding or data analysis, but employers increasingly rank them below the interpersonal competencies that sustain long-term performance. This is why, like, I will try to kind of absorb that the soft skills are like intangible, immeasurable, always, like, invisible form, like, and they reveal how effectively employees can translate technical know-how into results through cooperation, persuasion, and more importantly, adaptability. So this is how we can, take this forward. I think when we are talking about introduction, we can talk about how employer expectations are rising. We have seen in the recent survey that how written communication, problem solving, and teamwork outrank, kind of overshadow computer expertise for more than 75% of recruiters, signaling a decision kind of shift in hiring priorities. So in that context, this emphasis suggests organizations now regard interpersonal agility as the engine of productivity. Trusting the technical gaps can be filled faster than the deficiencies in collaboration or judgment. This is important, my dear students, that universal professional relevance is important, and like where we allow our students to prepare for interviews, manage brief clients. Managers, kind of in situations where success hinges on communicating ideas clearly, for negotiating differences, and, like, in a very constructive way. When I'm talking about soft skills, it is important that we understand that behavioral focus in the context that, like, non-technical behavior expressed through situational awareness, emotional intelligence rather than objective test scores, and they encompass listening attentively. This is like sometimes, these days, everybody focuses so much on speaking. Everybody's speak is so much on bringing forward my point of view. It's more about I, me, myself, like, kind of situation, where it's about more like listening to the client, listening to the consumer, listening to the other person, like that. So negotiating settlements and mediating conflicts, all of which depends on reading social cues and responding with empathy. So yes, your hard skills are important, but soft skills basically kind of orienting yourself to the environment, reading the situation, reading the mind of your next door person, like your client, your business partner, your, in the business situation, whoever you have to deal with. So like that. So positive attributes and competencies, if we look at the soft skills, are like clusters of constructive attributes such as confidence, patience, ethical integrity, that enhances productivity and that makes individual more marketable. Marketable means like appealable, where they are accepted more easily and comprehensively. Like, so I am saying that yes, about adaptability, about confidence, about an ability to listen to others and connect to others is important. What are the core categories of these? Like, is one is communication, leadership, and teamwork. How will we, if, our effective communication ensures messages that reach our colleagues without distortion. So we have to like look at like teamwork blends varied perspectives to achieve results greater than any other member could deliver. So these three competencies, where we build mutual uh, respect, clarify expectations, and sustain motivation across hierarchical lines. That is important. So yes, it's about understanding within a team, and like about the team, and what is the larger purpose. So problem solving, adaptability, and work ethic comes next. You'll find out that employers value analytical thinking that diagnoses issues, and flexibility that absorbs change calmly, and work ethics that guarantee punctual high quality output. So this is like, people are watching you for your ability to deal with changing, sometimes adverse situations. So how do you deal with that? When combined with these traits, you create reliable professionals who meet deadlines, embrace new technologies, and uphold organizational values even under tremendous pressure. We may look at like verbal clarity and tone. You see, when we are talking about soft skills, is about like successful communication. So clearly hinges on speaking clearly, using an appropriate tone, and presenting information that guides rather than confuses listeners, thereby preventing costly misunderstanding in a business environment. Like, if you overdo something, if you overspeak something, if your tone is not appropriate, your company would suffer heavily on that account. So one has to be very careful. We have to like look at how written and non-verbal challenges, for example, where you have to, sometimes you don't meet people face to face, you are not able to connect to people through meetings, where so you have to write emails, reports, instant messages. So you have to balance that with precision, with courtesy, with a sense of kind of active empathetic approach, and without a sense of hesitation. So yes, non-verbal cues such as posture, facial expression, you have to have eye contact, which reinforces spoken words, and signaling confidence and respect that builds workplace rapport. That is very important. So I hope you have understood this as to how listening and assertiveness is important. Active listening, for example, what is active listening? How do we understand active listening? This is important. Active listening requires concentrating on speaker's message, noting key details, providing feedback that confirms understanding. If you have not understood, you can point it out. You can kind of signal, yes, this is something I wish to obtain more, and approach these units frames as essential to two-way dialogue. I'm also saying that employees who master these skills detect underlying concerns early, and prevent misalignments, and saving teams and of valuable time otherwise which is lost to rework. So this is if you are actively listening, our mind will react, our sensitivities will help us, and then we will be able to react to the situation and save ourselves from any difficulty, any unpleasant moments which may occur in this due course. So when we are talking about about assertiveness in expression, for example, which but is like that. It's about articulating. Assertiveness means articulating ideas and boundaries confidently without kind of honoring others' viewpoints, thereby promoting solutions instead of resentment. So assertion, where you superimpose your point of view, that is something that we have to avoid. Like in this, we look at assertive communicators take responsibility for their positions, negotiate compromises, and maintain a positive relationship even when opinions diverge. We look at also in this context leadership skills. What are like those? How do those connect to the idea of soft skills, inspiring direction and performance? This even through the help of soft skills, we acquire a sense of leadership spirit, and strong leaders assess, motivate, and discipline staff, modeling them with integrity, enabling teams to exceed expectations and sustain momentum during setbacks. So I think through these leadership skills, people translate organizational objectives into clear tasks, ensuring every member sees how individual contributions advance collective success. This is important. So how do we cultivate culture and resolving conflict? If effective leaders nurture a culture of trust by recognizing achievements, mediating disputes, and encouraging open feedback that fuels innovation. This is important, where we look at how leadership training often centers on soft skills development. We will discuss as to what are the teamwork fundamentals in this. You'll find that soft skills comprise that kind of that domain in a very substantial way. And if you look at how cooperation towards shared goals is important. Teamwork unites people from varied cultural backgrounds, perspectives, and skill levels in pursuit of a single volume. Every employee is heading in a single direction with a when we look at the word team, for example, what does team means? Team begins with together, everyone achieves more. Team like this, if we extend this and understand in that how collaboration converts ordinary capacity into extraordinary results. So this is important, that traits of effective team members, where we discern when to lead discussions, when to listen, demonstrating sensitivity to colleagues' needs while staying focused on deadlines. So I think this is important. You'll understand that the perceptiveness and the receptiveness generates synergy, allowing groups to innovate swiftly and deliver high quality work. And I think we may also discuss in this context, managing team dynamics, where how do we harness diversity constructively? A workplace team is a mixed bag. You'll find different ideas, different opinions. Leveraging these differences demand open communication, open dialogue, and kind of networking, and then respect, which will help us to transform the potential friction into creative energy, and that energy will lead to creativity. Creative energy will lead to success. So I think we are discussing in this how cooperative habits of sharing knowledge, credit, responsibility convert diversity into competitive advantage. This is it's not if you say not me but you, if you say no, I'll allow you some space which otherwise belongs to me, that is important. So yes, if you look at the organizational benefits of teamwork, where collaborative approach accelerates how this will help in problem solving, reduce duplication of effort, and at the same time building institutional memory that survives personal changes. Individuals can sometimes go in some other direction, but if we have a strong team, that will ensure a sense of security of company's larger vision and mission. So yeah, like such cohesion we have to work out. In that we have to have, like, we will be able to achieve employee satisfaction, and by extension customer experience, and ultimately driving organizational resilience. I would like to talk about problem solving skills at this point of time, where it's a four-step process, where we define the problem, generate alternatives, evaluate options, and at the same time implement the chosen solution, ensuring thorough analysis before action. So this is important, and we have to like look at how we can focus on a structure which reduces errors, which reduces a kind of stress, and aligns all stakeholders, and documents reasoning for future reference. We create data for future interaction, so that we do not make the same mistakes, and we allow the advantages of the present to even leverage further. So like mindset and time pressure resilience is important, where effective problem solvers remain calm under high stakes, separating emotions from facts. So decision rests on evidence rather than panic. Their decisions, which may motivate entire teams to confront challenges collectively, and reinforcing confidence in eventual success. This is important, and we have to understand as to how we can take this forward. This is, once we have discussed the problem solving skills, it is important that we look at time management. For example, what is time management? I think it counts so much for the discussion on soft skills, where you have efficient scheduling comes first. Scheduling, where you have time management, extends beyond punctuality to prioritizing tasks, estimating durations realistically, and blocking distractions which erode concentration. So yes, focusing, and kind of giving your 360-degree attention to a given situation. And so we build up such attitude, aptitude, and then habits which are linked to timely completion of a given assignment, with a sense of improved quality, and also reduced overtime cost. That will be important, and that will be valued by the company, by everybody else. So yes, how does that affect productivity and stress? You will manage time. Time is the most precious resource. As you know, that time is sometimes value, sometimes is power. Times is, actually, in our system, we value time more than anything else. So yes, if we are able to manage time wisely, we'll be able to maximize profit, minimize frustration, and we'll be able to kind of foster a creative space for innovation by preventing last minute kind of issues, problems, challenges, and crises. So that is something that we have to be aware of, and we have to guard ourselves against, and we kind of take a remedial view of that. So yes, employees who honor deadlines consistently create and earn trust, hope, enabling them to assume greater responsibility and advance their career. So this kind of which is there in the backdrop, time management, but that will help you in so many diverse and kind of profound ways that will secure your position in a given situation. When we are talking about leadership, when we are talking about uh, kind of communication, and when we are talking about time management, interpersonal skills are also important. We have to look at like what are those interpersonal skills. No, it's about establishing rapport, like kind of connecting to the my stakeholders, your consumers, your clients, your people at large, in a seamless way, where it is like you're able to set up a linkage in a way that is harmonious. So like how you'll practice diplomacy, how you'll respect the differing opinions. Sometimes you'll come across a person who he or she does not understand, and kind of completely feel like, on your side. So how will you deal with that? Like, this will, in togetherness, lay the foundation of accountable, supportive teams. We need to encourage an open dialogue and shared decision making. We will be able to have skills, which will cultivate an environment where individuals feel valued and motivated. So yes, it's about creating a culture of listening, culture of understanding, culture of giving space for other, allowing your power to be shared, allowing your kind of, it's not about tyranny and dictatorship and the monarchy. It's about, involving everybody else in the team, so that, the maximum output can be achieved. So yes, if you look at, in interpersonal skills, when we are listening, I think the next point that we have, feedback and empathy, that is also very important. Giving and receiving constructive criticism requires empathy. Empathy, you understand, as opposed to sympathy, is about, kind of placing yourself in the given situation, in the difficult situation. So, kind of jumping into the pond, and then ensuring comments focus on behavior rather than personal worth. If somebody criticizes you, that is not a problem. If somebody points, kind of throws blame at you, that is not a problem. We have to kind of promote growth rather than defensiveness. If we begin to protect our own, like, ego and kind of, our own personal reputation, that may sometimes be a little bit of regressive. Of course, you have to protect, your personal thing, but not at not in the right in, like, confronting your client and kind of, putting everything else at stake. So yes, we have to, in this we understand what is empathy, what is collaboration, and how we can use interpersonal skills with a point of view to make this count. Yeah. And so when we are talking about interpersonal skills, adaptability and flexibility is important. When we are listening, when we are receiving feedback, as we have just discussed, how we respond to the change, how we are responsive to the suggestions. So flexibility, the word, it will kind of suggest willingness to embrace new tasks, technology, and organizational shifts without resistance, and attitude price, in agile, less hierarchical companies. Not like, we have, kind of horizontal and vertical hierarchies. We have to kind of make that a flexible thing, and where you'll agree with me that employees who adapt quickly, keep projects moving despite external disruptions, safeguarding competitive advantage. So this is important. This helps you at an individual level, and then your company, your organization, your institution will benefit from this. So so quality, like, for example, like, what are those, like, when we are talking about adaptability and flexibility, what are those, attributes? Like consistency, where, if they say that if the going gets tough, the tough gets going. So when people give up, in the case of adversity, our job is to stick to the task. Our job is to kind of, keep going, even if it is dark, even if it is hazy, even if it is like foggy. We'll keep, like, going to the, if a customer is stiff, rude, sometimes, hostile to you, will keep kind of uh, expressing, keep sharing our point of view, our company's perspective, and, like, consistent approach towards that. Optimism is also, where you are pragmatic about it, where you are kind of, you are looking at the shinier side, where you're looking at a point of view where, you are listening to everybody else and harmonize with all kinds of situation. Technological curiosity typify adaptable workers. You'll find that, it's illustrated by staff who smoothly transition from manual banking to online platforms. These days we have, like, technological shifts, platforms change sometimes, very quickly, and sometimes some people adapt to that. Sometimes people find it happens with all major departments, like all major organizations. So these changes, if we are uh, if we can embrace, if we can absorb, if we can kind of align with the emerging rapidly shifting technologies, that will be helpful. So such individuals who have a sense of kind of adaptability and flexibility, they will encourage, they will invite reliability in the minds of managers, and they'll reassure clients that service quality will remain stable during a transformation, as in a way transition and a shift in times. So it is important that we also discuss work ethics. How do we look at those? Like, what are the various components of work ethics? I would say that a solid work ethic combines these aspects. What are those aspects? First is punctuality, accuracy, diligence, persistence, guaranteeing that responsibilities are fulfilled without compromising standards. So work ethics constitute this. Let's not kind of dilute these in any way, and kind of and internalize these aspects for the sake of your professional success. How will it's just an extension of what we have discussed. So when we were talking about time management, so that will lead to punctuality. When we are talking about consistency, that will lead to diligence, accuracy, and persistence. This is all about adaptability. This is all about flexibility. This is about rootedness in a given thing. So yes, when we look at how it is better for career advancement, that is, I hope you have already understood it. Like employers, business organizations, they prefer, they will rank you above others if you have enthusiasm, if you have exemplary work ethics, and sometimes people are technically very superior, but they are very unmotivated, and if you recognize long term value of reliability, that it will be very a key to your professional success and career advancement. Ethical conduct encourages self control and mutual respect, which will foster career pathways, which will subsequently build credibility and consistent performance. So yes, I think we have discussed work ethics in this, and if we move on to what is this importance of soft skills, how we can have individual advantages. Mastering soft skills builds confidence, sharpens decision making, and strengthens social networks that create future opportunities beyond initial job roles. You will find that if you have soft skills with you, you will you can go ahead, can progress in a sharper way, in a smoother way, and in your company situation. So yes, if you look at the organizational payoffs for you'll find that soft skills, as we have discussed, it, you will invariably score above others when you will be able to perform better during the interviews, during the presentations, during the workplace negotiations, with a sense of calmness, with a sense of peace, with a sense of equanimity. So like that, I'm trying to say that yes, organizational payoffs, you'll have soft skills will have hard benefits. If you show higher efficiency, then employees communicate clearly and resolve conflict quickly. So it will kind of lead to more strong relationship with the organization management and leadership, and you'll have a kind of a competitive edge over others, and that will reflect in a way the dividend that you will get in the rewards that you will have in a given professional official situation. So yes, it will have multiplied benefit. So to begin with an interview, to begin with a presentation, to begin with interpersonal skills in an environment, you'll benefit from that. If you look at like speaking and listening balance, I think soft skills help us as to how do we understand the fact that I have one mouth and two ears. So it suggests me how to kind of navigate, how to balance, how much to speak and how much to listen. So like you'll have senior executives, they articulate vision convincingly, yet at the same time you'll find that they listen closely, they listen attentively to workforce insights, a kind of dual ability. So they have to kind of lead the way, they have to show the way forward, but at the same time they have to look back, they have to look right ways and left ways, where they listen to everybody, whoever can contribute to the higher meaning. So yes, the effective leaders, they absorb feedback to kind of to refine strategy, demonstrating humility alongside authority. That is important. So negotiation and delegation is something that is important. We have leaders, who continuously negotiate with clients, partners, staff, and requiring empathy to understand interests while advancing organizational goals. And strategic delegation leverages team strengths, maximizing efficiency, and giving employees development challenges that will boost the morale of our situation, our stakeholders. Now I will talk about in a more comprehensive way the illustrative impacts of soft skills. What are those? Can we have a medical practice example? I hope you are ready for this. A medical practice, a doctor's rigorous diagnostic expertise means little if patients have a sense of distrust, have a sense of poor communication going between the doctor and the patient. So you'll find that if a doctor has higher kind of emotional intelligence, approachability, and clear explanation skills, you'll have a better situation, and you'll be able to if you look at otherwise, if you have a kind of opposite, if you have a compassionate communication, that will increase adherence to treatment plans and overall satisfaction. So you can kind of see the same kind of output and outcome in all situations, be technical or as examples, or like social in the social field, or public domain also. You'll find that if you have soft skills, you'll have better impact. And if we go to the sales and customer service, a kind of a market savvy salesperson without interpersonal finesse may struggle to close deals, while customer service professionals need empathy, patience as much as procedural knowledge. So we can have n number of examples. We can be it political domain, be it judicial domain, or technical domain, or social domain. You'll have a situation where soft skills convert technical proficiency into tangible client facing success. When we are talking about soft skills and our idea and our approach on how to absorb this, we can as to how to develop. Is it some people say that soft skills are largely inborn. Some people have blessed they can, but I feel that one can if we try on a regular basis, we can nurture those. We can kind of practice, and through the faculty of observation, we can do that. So improvement begins with self-reflection, deliberate practice, and volunteering for committees, rehearsing presentations to refine communication or time management. So whatever which if you look out, if you watch your own behavior, if you kind of record your voice, if you kind of take feedback, you'll find that you can always improve. And observing colleagues, for example, who are doing better in particular, soft skills reveal techniques as note taking during meetings that can be closely and consciously adopted. So like I'm saying that goal setting and feedback is very important part. How do we kind of set up a focused situation, like a goal, aim, objective? Like I think setting specific measurable objectives and inviting constructive criticism from trusted peers exposes blind spots and tracks progress over time. This is important that we look at the situation and prioritize deficits that hinder current roles or desired positions, which ensure effort yields immediate career relevant returns. So that is important. We have to look at continuous improvement strategies. What are those? Let's just have a look at that, and to how we can like leverage learning resources, books, for example, my dear class, books, podcast, online courses, provide adaptable learning pathways for busy professionals, allowing them to target skills like negotiation or conflict resolution at their own pace. I'll also would like to add that sampling varied formats help I identify the medium that aligns so very closely with one's study habits and ensuring knowledge retention. Also, like commitment to lifelong growth. For example, this course with IGNU, where we talk about the idea of not studying for the sake of a degree, but studying for a lifetime, like a habit of learning. So yes, when we are lifelong learning, we are talking about. So soft skill development is like an ongoing journey rather than one time credentials, rather than one time kind of smooth and enabling connection with the audience. No, it's about like where you are mirroring evolving workplace demand on a regular basis and trying to obtain higher potential, higher outcome in the next time. So if we have regular assessment, if we have kind of consistent kind of checks and balances, that will take care of our competencies, whether they have aligned with emerging technologies, cultural shifts, and organizational priorities. So this is how we have to kind of look at a kind of sustained continuous improvement strategy. We may look at like how soft skills are like effective career enablers. Is of course our technical know-how, our hard skills are important, but like soft skills bridge the gap between technical ability and real world performance, turning isolated experience and expertise into collaborative high impact results that will be acknowledged by the employers, the business leaders. So yes, in because it is a direct sense that you'll find out as they influence every professional interaction, and their mastery differentiates candidates in a crowded job market and accelerates advancement once hired. So this is important, and I think it's a call to action, student action, where we have like under UG learners, they should integrate soft skills practice in their daily routines. For example, like if you're going to do some group assignments, if you're going to campus clubs, or you are taking some part-time work to solidify those habits before entering. Often do you say please, sorry, excuse me, thank you? Like how often you kind of kind of acknowledge people's presence and kind of their contribution to your life. It's about kind of attitude to kind of express your thankfulness and gratitude in that sense. So yes, by consciously cultivating adaptability, communication, and ethical integrity, we will have students kind of able to graduate and not only just qualify and kind of take the degree, but in their lives they will be ready to lead, they will ready to thrive, they're ready to contribute to the idea of a better world. That is very something very important, and I think we'll stop here and we'll keep discussing, and we will keep orienting ourselves to the idea of soft skills. What are the different aspects and perspectives. We will also look at what are the barriers in that journey. Sometimes you run into difficult waters, but we will discuss that in our next class. Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure, and it's always a delight to be able to connect to you. Thank you very much.